The blind bruiser was waiting for me when I arrived in London. The man with only one eye and a very sharp knife seemed almost jovial to see me. I delivered his package, the dark secret that I had found in Palmerston. However, he was not done with me yet. He bade me go to Polythreme, the land of claymen, to pick up a gift for his benefactor. How was I to say no? He'd given me some things for free. There was nothing for it. I had business in Polythreme anyway. My mechanic had need of a clayman, so it seemed like an easy enough job. I visited the voracious diplomat and gave some of my secret information of the Khanate and the Admiralty. She was quite generous with her reward. The woman is deadlier than a bound shark, and twice as scary with that one eye. Still, I can't deny that the smile on her lovely face made it all worthwhile. That and the echoes, of course. I was paid almost 1,000 for my trouble. I decided to rest and give my crew some time to recover. As I took on a new crew, I took a night out on the town. I got a chance to meet a strange young lady by the name of Marina. She was a bit sassy, a bit whimsical. More than anything, though, she was tough for taking on a Z captain. We enjoyed a nice meal together. I admit it was hard to part ways with her. She pressed a locket into my hands and glared at me. "Don't you forget," she seemed to say. Oh, how could I forget a woman with that much fire? I took it with me as I headed down the docks. Along the way I saw a strange man with a hook for a hand. Oddly, he was doing tricks for the children. The genial magician approached me. I talked with him for a bit, learned that he had enemies who had taken his hand from him, but that they were not mortal men, or even the undead of Venderbite, or even the rubbery men, one of whom I had taken to my ship. I decided to take him with me. The man held a story and an adventure that I was curious to see. My cannoneer badgered at me as well while we were in London to buy some torpedo components. She wanted to test out some new weaponry. The woman's a genius at weaponry, and I say that with all due terror. She nearly blew us apart. However, she did provide a good hint. While her weapons are a bit too inefficient, she bade me go to Demio, where I might learn of a new weapon, one that might even rival my father's cannon in power. As we headed out, I stopped at Mutton Island close by for a riddle. I was given a strange fish for my trouble. Though that was not the end of my fishy troubles. We found a giant crab on our way to the salt lions, on our way to the port of Coral. We fed well. I learned of my ability to carry Sphinx Stone for a hefty fee at the Salt Lions, though that was not my goal there. The god of salt was with us, and my Narcissus outcast, that strange rubber man with the octopus-like face. He scampered all about the monolithic sphinx-like structures before diving into the Z. For a time I thought himself lost, but before we took out to sea again, he came back holding a Sphinx Stone piece, a chess piece, for his master, the Coral. I can't say I was easy of this, but I was headed there anyway. Who was I to argue? When we arrived at Demio after the Sphinx Stone was taken, I decided it would be wise to bribe the factor so that he would give me what information he could. He told me of the mystical island of Aestavel and the secret power that lay there. It was mutually beneficial, and we had tea afterwards. No hard feelings, after all. On our way through Gator's Morn, I took out the picture I had of the likely lass, Marina. Likely that she might one day become more than just a partner for a nice cup of tea and some dinner. I kept it close to my heart. It would have been easy to throw away, but it gave me a reason to come home, and it strengthened me. I put it at Port Cecil, and gave to the Coral the Sphinx Stone chess piece. My reward was a new quest, and a hull full of Schlintak. I must admit, this quest does have its rewards, but it had me seeking out other chess pieces, some in the bellies of monsters, some beyond the realm of mortal kin. Either way, that was where I was headed next, to seek out its chess pieces. Along the way, I discovered a most curious place. Nuncio, the land of postmen. Letters strewn about the shores, everyone in a postal uniform. It was like some sort of purgatory for them. Half out of pity and half out of genuine curiosity, I saw a man trying to rid the water of letters with a broom, and I lent my hand in service. Though I knew the current would carry more back, it was gratifying to see the water free of letters. I followed him into the tavern and learned much of the postal peoples. It was their duty to send out the mail, and their passion to never see it return. I admit it was a bit eerie the way that they were so down on their luck. Nevertheless, I decided to give my own hand at this. I scooped up some dead letters that would never find their way home and took a shift at the dead letter office, where the rat postman gave me a bit of a scrutinizing look. Nevertheless, he was cheery enough and very kind. For a rat, I mean. It was indeed quite a journey. I decided it might be wise to actually look into the back of the office, for the rat told me that was locked. Surely there must be something of interest in there, some story I could know. He gave it up to me, and I saw a stairway leading down. 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 I don't remember my way back up. I just remember running. Fear of something unknown carried me. I told my postman, the rat, what I'd seen, and he said he understood. Mail had a real power in Nuncio, and what was down there could burn the skin from your very body. Still, this was kind of what I had been looking for. I brought several of my crew, along with candles and a flare to light the way. In the subterranean depths beneath the dead letter office, we found... How could I even describe it? A shrine to postmen, a shrine to mail delivered and mail undelivered, the despair, the true journey of the postman. It was, in many ways, tragic, but also brave of them. Their job was endless and eternal, and thankless at best, but they continued on, even so, because everything needed to be delivered. I returned to the tavern, shared my story with the rat of my dead letter office, and to the postman. I had newfound respect for them, and we all shared a quick drink together before it was time to cast off again into unknown waters.